G'day everyone, Alex here from Trademate Sports. Today, I'm posing myself the question, what would I do differently if I started my sports betting journey all over again? You may remember from about 5 years ago that I started a series on the Trademate Sports YouTube channel called My Value Betting Journey from 1K to 2K. Now, what I'm going to do today is pose myself that question again. If I started with $1,000, would I do anything differently, or would I do the exact same thing again and use the Trademate Sports software? Going to answer that question today. But before I answer that question, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you get a notification every time we post a video like this.
It is a scam when you don't allow everyone to operate on fair terms.
We are the Robin Hoods of sports betting. We take something back from the rich bookies and enable our customers to beat them instead.
So if I was given $1,000 to start my betting journey today all over again, what would be my first step? Well, to be completely honest, I wouldn't go straight to the Trademate Sports software. I would try and grow my bankroll from $1,000 to roughly $10,000 just from doing sure bets, or match betting, it's also referred to as. So exploiting all the bonuses, all the sign-up offers, welcome bonuses, whatever you want to call it, at sportsbooks. So for those who don't know, when you sign up to a sportsbook, depending on what country you're in, but generally most of the people listening to this video will be able to get healthy welcome bonuses when they sign up to a brand new sportsbook. They can offer deals such as deposit $100 and get $100 back in bonus bets, or even more than that. Some cases you'll be able to do up to maybe $500 and get $500 back in bonus bets. That would be my first step. And the reason for that is that basically, if I'm going to go to value betting in the future, I want to have the biggest bankroll possible. Because if I start with $1,000 and start value betting with that, my bets are going to be very small. But let's just say I start with $10,000, my bets are going to be a lot bigger, 10 times bigger in that case. So it would allow the process to go a lot faster. And the process from going to $1,000 bankroll to $10,000 is going to be way faster in terms of bankroll growth, or at least expected growth, if I use a method like match betting rather than value betting. If you want more information on how to do match betting, I can put a link above me here. So check out match betting if you don't know what that's all about, but there are softwares out there like Odds Hero that you can use to turn over welcome bonuses. And there's also softwares out there if you want to exploit just general boosted odds and stuff like that sportsbooks will offer you. So I've never used any softwares or any programs that allow you to find plus EV bonus offers or boosted odds offers, but there are softwares out there that I'm sure that you could find that are useful in exploiting those too. And just basically any way to get your bankroll from $1,000 up as far as possible, completely risk-free. Even though boosted odds is not risk-free, I would do those bonus offers as much as possible and get your bankroll to a bigger sum of money in a risk-free way. I would be a little bit careful though when you are using your accounts just to churn over bonus offers. You want to be able to use your accounts for as long as possible. You want to be able to use those accounts in the future for value betting. So don't be too aggressive when it comes to exploiting those bonus offers. Chuck a few multis in there, chuck some stuff in there that doesn't look like you're too sharp of a sports bettor to prolong those accounts as much as possible. Don't just take the biggest arbs around. Maybe be willing to lose a little bit of money in terms of losing a little bit of that sign-up bonus. So don't go, I've got a $500 sign-up bonus, I'm going to try and get $500 or $550 back. Maybe be happy just to take $450 back, just so you can extend those accounts lifetime a little bit longer. Step number 2. So now that I've got my bankroll from, let's just say $1,000 all the way up to $10,000, just using welcome bonuses at every single sportsbook possible. Maybe you didn't get to 10,000, maybe you only got to 5,000, but let's just say you got to 10,000. I would now do everything in my power, go to any source possible to educate myself on sports betting and making myself as smart a sports bettor as I can possibly be. There are so many great sources out there to learn about sports betting, or at least profitable sports betting. There's a number of great YouTube channels, podcasts, blogs, everything out, ebooks out there. There's a tremendous amount of sources out there for you to get better at sports betting, and things that I did at the start took my knowledge from basically just a fun gambler kind of thing on the weekend to, I would say, in the top 5 to 10% of sports betting knowledge of all sports bettors in the world, just from simple things like reading the Trademate Sports ebooks. I know it sounds like I'm giving them a plug, but it was such an easy way to just become a lot smarter with my sports betting. I've made videos in the past about the best podcasts out there that you can listen to, where people will interview professional sports bettors. You know, we have one ourselves, which is great, but there are other podcasts out there that you can listen to. There's YouTube channels that I've also done videos about that you can go and view. And finally, I've done a video on the best blogs out there that you can go and read from. If you just simply looked at my videos on the top blogs, top videos, channels, top podcasts out there, and read the Trademate ebooks, I'm telling you, you would go from, if you just say you're a beginner sports bettor, to an absolute savant. Maybe not a savant is too far, but you would get to an unbelievably good level of knowledge around sports betting if you just started consuming all that content. All right, step 3. Now, step 3, I'm going to title, It's Time to Start Value Betting. Now, there's many ways you can do that, but I'm going to choose ways to value bet that are the most efficient in terms of my time. So I'm not going to become some whiz-bang modeler, originator, steam chaser, etc. I'm going to start using tipsters or touts, another way to call them, and also start using softwares like value betting softwares like Trademate Sports. And what that's going to allow me to do is really get my volume up. Now that I've educated myself fully, I know that step 2 didn't make you any money at all. You've still got your $10,000 bankroll, but now I know everything about sports betting, or at least I know a lot of things. I'm very smart when it comes to sports betting, and now I'm able to evaluate services like Trademate Sports, all the touts and tipsters out there. I can evaluate these services really well because I'm a very smart sports bettor. And at the same time, it's the most efficient way in terms of your time to start turning over your bankroll and to make plus EV bets. Now, although you're not coming up with these bets yourself, it's important to keep educating yourself as to why these tipsters or softwares are sending you these bets to bet on. It's because they're plus EV most of the time, as long as you're using reliable sources. So continue to question each bet that comes through and try and just continue to learn and educate yourself as to why these people are sending these bets through. So in terms of value betting softwares, I would recommend, obviously I'm going to recommend Trademate Sports. It's a great way to take your bankroll from 10,000 and increase that into potentially thousands more. So maybe we're looking at getting that bankroll from 10,000 up to 20, 30,000. People have done that using our software before. People have achieved much more using our software. So that's definitely a software I would recommend. In terms of tipsters, I would start looking at websites like Smart Betting Club, for example, websites that have verified tipsters on their website that you can use, that they've tracked themselves and they know that will win in the long run. So there's just a few ideas to get you going. And so now you're subscribed to a few tipsters, maybe you're using the Trademate Sports software too. Your volume is gonna increase rapidly, and hopefully now we're looking at a case where you've taken that bankroll from 10,000 up to, let's just say, $30,000. So now that your bankroll has increased this much, it's important to note that you're probably going to start experiencing, or you probably already have started experiencing, banned accounts. Now, that takes us to step 4, which I'll get onto now, but this is why you need to kind of take your betting to the next level, is that when you start experiencing accounts getting banned, you need to change things up just a little bit and start to specialize in certain realms of sports betting. All right, step 4, specialization. Now, the reason I'm saying that you should now specialize in something is because you need to become valuable to the sports betting sphere, I guess. You need to start building a network that because you're losing or losing certain betting accounts, you need to be able to bet at as many sports books in the world as possible. And to be able to do that, you need to get very good at something, and when you become very good at something, a unique aspect of sports betting, you then become valuable to other people, which allows you to grow your network. So there's lots of options at this point. You could become an originator, where you model or you do your own paper prices, etc., on certain sporting events, and become very good at allocating percentages to certain teams, winning, losing, points, over, under, etc. And then you can start sending your bets to people who then place them for you. Or at least they have lots of accounts and they can place the bets for you at whatever bookmakers they have access to. You could also become the other side of the equation that I just mentioned. You could become very good at placing bets for people, at acquiring accounts, at moving bets for people. Now, this is a completely different art that I've just talked about, but it's the other side of the equation, which is just acquiring as many bookmakers as possible and getting very good at that. You could continue what you were doing before, using value betting softwares, using tipsters, but then you're getting good at many things, which is you have to acquire the accounts yourself, of course, you have to be good at evaluating, etc. So in that case, you are still kind of, getting very good at one thing in terms of just getting new accounts over and over and churning over certain, tipsters or using softwares. You could also go back to things like match betting, which is a lot different in terms of being able to increase, exponentially. It depends how many accounts you have access to. It is risk-free, but in some circumstances, or most circumstances, I would say, you're not going to be able to make huge sums of money just doing match betting. And then you can just do things like steam chasing, which is basically what the Trademate Sports software is doing also, but you could do it, by just getting very good at, maybe not being able to use softwares like Trademate Sports, but just by, looking at markets for so long that you can start to do it, based on your own knowledge. In terms of what I was doing when I got my bankroll to $30,000, I started doing a little bit of everything. I started doing a little bit of originating on the UFC in terms of doing tape on fights and coming up with my own prices on Moneyline and props and all that kind of stuff. I also still use the Trademate Sports software. I use some tipsters at the same time. And I also moved a little for people too. So I did a little bit of everything. I didn't specialize in just one thing. So that's kind of going against what I'm saying here. But I think the main thing is that you get really good at one thing. And eventually, when I got my doing what I was doing, I probably only got my bankroll from about $30,000 to $50,000. And it was when I started specializing in one thing, eventually, which was originating the UFC, is when I was really able to grow my network as much as possible. So for me, if I was doing this all over again, I was pretty happy with my path of just originating on the UFC. But I would not tell anyone else not to do things like getting very good at moving for people, such as acquiring a lot of accounts. It's a lot of work, and maybe it suits someone that's already got a big network of friends and family and stuff like that, or already knows some sports bettors. But I do think that when you get to step 4, that you've got your bankroll maybe to about $30,000, $40,000 and you're experiencing issues with getting new accounts, I think you should start to look at specializing in a form of sports betting. And that concludes my video on what I would do differently if I started my sports betting journey all over again. I hope you guys found that educational and guides you guys on a path of a more effective and efficient path of improving your sports betting journey. If you are at step 3 already, or you're going to reach step 3 in the future, definitely start a free week trial of Trademate Sports just to help you get that volume in with your sports betting journey and become a plus EV sports bettor. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Click the bell too, and you'll get a notification for every time we post a video like this. Cheers, guys.